You mistreat me all the time. Mean mistreater. You mistreat me all the time. Well, you must have been mistreated to have the same thing on your mind. Wow, I had that all planned out in my head right before I started the stream, and it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. I'm playing a new Marine band I just got here. I had a couple of them die on me recently in A, and I knew that they had one at my local store. Who knows how much longer the Marine band's gonna be around for, but this one is brand spanking new. I mean, I played it like once or twice. It's got a pretty good feel to it. I got a good one. I love how the nails stay gold at first, and then with time, inevitably, they will always wear down to silver. I don't know what's up with that, if it's like a brass covering that they put on them or something, but it's something that I've noticed on every single Marine band that I own. It doesn't last very long at all before those golden nails turn to the color of silver. So that's how you can tell when one is really fresh and untouched. I haven't opened it, no need to. I don't really, usually they're pretty good out of the box, so. Keep your eye on the road, your hand upon the wheel. God damn it, my voice is just not working today, man. You know, that's really the worst thing about being a singer, is when you want to sing and your fucking voice won't work. Keep your eye on the... My safe mode is just to sing very low in volume and switch to a lower octave. That almost never fails me, but if you're like at the Camel or something like that, or just any blues jam, they're not going to be able to hear you. And that's really something that I hate. I've been thinking about this more and more. All of these blues jams are way too fucking loud, and it's bothersome, man. I've been suffering from tinnitus due to it, and I guess it's because nowadays a blues jam is not really a blues jam so much as it is a classic blues rock jam. Randy, what's going on, man? We got our first comment in the chat here. Hello to my angry young friend. Randy, I've been going through it, man. I was yelling at people on the road today. It's not good. It's really not good. I was so mad on my lunch break. I was just going through the hate comments, and they have this new option now where you can reply with a voice comment, and I was going crazy with it. I said some very inappropriate things that you're not allowed to say. And you know, I was kind of just testing the limits of it. Fortunately, they do have it has a transcript, and if the transcript comes out messed up, like if you say something really nasty, it'll just delete it the same way that it will if you write any comment that's considered too nasty, which is another thing that I'm not a fan of with YouTube. I think you should be able to say anything. I think I should be able to say anything, and I think the comments should be able to say anything they want, even if it's something really nasty. Let's get this cup of coffee in us and see if that'll get the breath work going a little bit. I also haven't played harp in a few days. I haven't been playing harmonica at all because I've just been kind of into the guitar again. I'm hoping I don't fall down that trend, so I've been balancing it by playing with a rack, but playing with a rack just isn't the same. It's not as much fun. I don't have as much control. Tone-wise, I'm not as precise or as accurate. And as much as I hate to admit it, it's a lot harder than it looks. You know, I used to think Bob Dylan was a little bit of a jack off of a harmonica player, but you know what? When I learned all along the Watchtower on the rack, it made me realize something. Dylan might not always hit the perfect note, but you have an idea of what he's going for, and the solos are decent, some of them anyway. I've been I've been spending a lot of my free time researching music stuff. That's kind of what I do when I get bored and just want to retreat into nothing. Except I'm out of bands that I love to study. So now I have to study bands that I don't know anything about, like the Beatles or who else am I? I'm studying a little bit about Bob Dylan and the band, you know, Levon and the Hawks, which that was actually pretty cool. You know what's actually, this ties into the harmonica. You know what's awesome about Levon and the Hawks? There's that classic video here on YouTube of Robbie Robertson. I think this was like probably 5 or 10 years before he died, and he's doing an interview and he's talking about playing with Sonny Boy Williamson shortly before his death, and they were actually considering taking him on tour with them as the band. I always thought that was really interesting, and it's just one of the best Sonny Boy Williamson stories. Now, some people have debated the legitimacy of it. I wasn't there, I wouldn't know. I just think it's a nice story and it seems to fit. And why would Robbie Robertson make something like that up? I don't know. So, you know, I always love that. And how cool would it have been, you know, because Sonny Boy played with a lot of famous people, you know. Sonny Boy played with Jimmy Page. Great sessions, by the way. Well, I guess I can't say great sessions, but they were sessions. They did make an album out of it. Look it up, Jimmy Page and Sonny Boy Williamson too. He also, of course, Led Zeppelin covered Help Me, which, now that I got the A harp here. Baby. Wait, no, we're out of tune. Baby. Gonna bring it on home to you. Bought my ticket, got down low. Conductor holler, all aboard. I'm gonna take my seat right away back. Ooh, baby, watch this train go down the track. I'm gonna bring it on home. Bring it on home to you. Watch out, watch out, watch out. And then it goes into the crazy Led Zeppelin part. And you know what's sad? Or not sad. It's not sad at all. It's funny. You know what's funny? I didn't realize until last year when I re-listened to Led Zeppelin 2 for the first time since, I don't know, being a younger man. And when it came to, what's it called? What was I just playing? Not Help Me. Baby, whatever the fuck. See, now I just lost my entire damn train of thought. Right, so when I went back to listen to that album, it made me realize, and this is hilarious, Robert Plant's doing a Sonny Boy Williamson impression. He's not singing the song as Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin. Go back, listen to it. He's singing that song. He's doing a Sonny Boy Williamson impression specifically. Listen to in the intro, like the cadence of the voice. And I guess, you know, I'm saying listen carefully. It's obvious, but I hadn't noticed until I mean, I knew it was a cover. It wasn't until, you know, like late last year when I was like, wait a minute, he's straight up doing a Sonny Boy imitation, which I love. I thought it was very cool. Obviously an homage to one of his heroes. Okay, we got to catch up on the chat with Rand here. That's a good thing, man. Let your voice be heard. Let those idiots... Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's what I love about it. I believe the story to be true. Me too, Rand. Me too. Absolutely. And the spitting blood into the spittoon was probably true because, like I said, Sonny Boy was already near the end of his life at that point, and he would actually die shortly after, so that makes total sense. No, it wasn't Babe, I'm Gonna Leave. It was Bring It On Home. That's what it was. It was Bring It On Home. So, classic. Bring It On Home. I knew it before I knew anything about Sonny Boy. Except, you know what's weird? When I was a teenager, that song didn't quite hit the same. You know, like I didn't... It didn't even register with me. I don't think that song had a harmonic... I mean, I'm sure it did to some extent, but... Same thing with Led Zeppelin 1. If you go back to that album, Robert Plant, there's at least one or two songs on that album that he does a fantastic, some fantastic harp stuff. I love the British boys that can play the harp, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's very clear to me, I've said it before and I'll say it again, on the other side of the world where blues harp is not a native thing, this was the 1960s, mind you, when there was no internet, you know, I learned only because I had YouTube. If I didn't have something like YouTube and the ability to listen to any blues music I wanted to, there's no way in hell I would have ever figured out the harmonica. Music is easier now to figure out than ever before. If you can't do it, it's like me, it's because you're useless. I'm sorry. Like the everything is there. You just have to be able to do the thing. And I spend all day thinking about doing the thing and never actually do the thing. Anyway, Rand, let me show you this one I've been working on. I'm sure you might recognize this one, and hopefully you don't think it's too cheesy. But Peggy Lee does a cover of this, and I just learned about these major seventh chords, which I just, they're just, it's like this, I think. So I've been working on, by the way, someone tell me, if before we get into the song I'm going to play, this is something else. This is a thing, right? Fucking hell, of course, now I'm not going to be able to. Like just going back and forth from the major to the major, from the regular to the major seven, found it to be a very pleasing noise, and I'm trying to write something with that. Ooh, damn, that coffee hit me. You know, when I haven't drank in a couple days, the coffee makes me manic, so help me God. But this is not a manic song, so I'm gonna calm two entire fucks down. Okay, ready? Raindrops are falling on my head. Come on. Just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. Fucking hell. I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know. Wait, what am I fucking up here? That's not... Alright, well, never mind. So, we'll get back to that. When the levee breaks, oh yeah, that's a good one. When the levee breaks. See, that one I could do that with a backing track, probably. It's a B flat, but you know what's funny? I don't know if this is true, but I heard that song, in real life, Robert Plant actually played an A harmonica, and it was either sped up or slow down. I can't do the math right now. Dude, I swear my mind is deteriorated. I'm trying so hard to get my mind back. I might have had a stroke or something, dude. I don't know. Like, my brain just is not functioning the way that it should. Gotta take some desperate measures. I've been eating a lot of that brain food, you know? Damn, can I play that whole song? Dude, look at this. I forgot my notebook at work today. I got 3 ideas for a song, of course, while I'm driving. So I pulled over and I wrote them down on my hand. And you know what I did? I got home and I washed my hands. Because that's the first thing I do every day when I get home, because my hands are filthy from holding a steering wheel all day. I swear to God, man, this songwriting thing, it really upsets me. Because I knew that I could do it. I know it's possible, you know. And I'm not saying that I'm a great songwriter. I believe musicians are just like antennas, and we just pick things up if you happen to be able to put that antenna out somehow. Boy, the fact that I can hear my neighbor working on his whatever the fuck he's doing makes me very self-conscious about my speaking. Anyway, I've done it before, and every time that I had, it's like a flow state. Like, And the only thing that makes me feel better about not having written anything good in a couple years is that every time I look into the subject of songwriting, and specifically when it comes to interviews with artists that I have great respect for, universally, they all say the same thing about, you just have to, you yourself, your job is to be ready, right? And then when that idea comes, you again, you got to be ready, but you got to fucking act on it. And that's the only thing that's been keeping me going in terms of just knowing that it is that process. And yeah, maybe sometimes you get fucked over for a few years. I wish I was one of those guys that could I wish I was one of those guys who could create art from being sad. Like, I never understood that in my entire life. They say some artists use their bad life experience as material or as inspiration. What the fuck? I'm jealous because I've never been able to do that, and I'm fucking miserable all the time. Imagine if I could craft that into like art, quote unquote. Oh, thank you, Clint. I appreciate that. Yeah, no dickheads in the chat today. I was ready to go off. I got a list of insults right here. I actually have them written down next to the phone. I thought there's going to be a bunch of people being dicks, but yeah. Ever since I started collecting CDs again, speaking of Led Zeppelin 4, that's one that I used to have the mini LP version in my collection, and I've been going to the Barnes & Noble. Their selection is god fucking awful. I mean, just terrible. But the other day, they did some magical shit. I don't know if they noticed that I've been coming in every day after work or what, because I came back and the whole section was redone. They had everything. They had Beatles. They had Pink Floyd. They had Rolling Stones. Everything was rearranged, like way more selection. And I picked up a couple things that I needed to add for my collection. But one of them that I wanted to get was Led Zeppelin 4, and I saw that they had the deluxe there. I said, okay, great. Here's my chance to fill in, like, and I'm thinking, how much is it going to be, right? Like, how much does a CD cost? $10, $12, $13, $14, $15, even maybe? Dude, this thing was like $22. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't pay that much for, and I'm thinking back, like, I remember paying, for example, my original Doors albums that I used to have on CD, some of them I got for $6 a pop. So what the fuck happened? How is a CD $20? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, it's the deluxe, whatever. They included some shitty outtakes. I'm not impressed. The only deluxe I've ever been impressed with is the one that they did recently for LA Woman, where you get like literally half an hour long studio sessions with like banter and stuff. Those were very, very cool. The Led Zeppelin ones, to be fair, I didn't really listen all that much. I guess I probably would if I had the CD. And I probably will have to bite the bullet and get it at some point because, I'm always thinking in terms of Armageddon. And if anything happens, I want to be able to just run a generator and have my CDs until the end of time. And you're going to need Led Zeppelin 4 when the world goes away. You know that, right? Just throwing it out there. You're going to need it. It's one of the ones. Oh, you can do that. If it keeps on raining, life is gonna break. I was looking for my, I really wanted to find my Seidel Big 6, and did I end up finding it? Oh yeah, okay. See if I can put this thing together here, because I do love my Seidel Big 6. I actually think I'm about to record a video about this particular model of harmonica here as soon as I'm done in a moment, because I was thinking about, I've been a little harsh on Seidel. Don't get me wrong, I still don't recommend the, like the Blues Session Steel or any of that shit, but The Big Six, I think, is one that I can confidently recommend because it's basically just an 1840s. Monkey, you're knocking into my tripod, baby boy. What's wrong? You want a treat? Are you hungry? Hang on, guys. I gotta feed the cat. I'm gonna sue this fucking cat food company. You know why? They have turkey, chicken, salmon, and trout, and every single package looks and smells exactly the same. Someone explain that to me. Chicken, turkey, trout, and salmon are not the same thing. And yet all of these flavors smell and look the exact same. They look like fucking gross-ass cat food. I just spilled some on my hands. I gotta wash that shit off. That shit's no joke. Just doesn't make sense to me. You know, and then you feed it to the cat. It's like, that's probably why they only live. How long does a cat live? Like 20 or 30 years? No, like 15. That's probably why they only live that long. Well, if it isn't bigger than Jesus, good to see you, bud. And I'm still working on LA Woman, but you know what? I want to get the Suzuki Manji Sky for that. Still the worst. This one just came out bad. And I'm not good enough to gap. Or perhaps I can't be bothered to learn. Yeah, I took a little downer about an hour ago. Took a look around, see which way the wind blow. Stiletto Squeak in the house. Says, good morning all the way from Australia. What time is it in Australia, man? I hope no one's done that before. And I hope I can be the first one to put out a good LA Woman harmonica. That'd be cool. Except for the solo, I think you got to go to third position because there's just no way you're getting away with that in second position. It ain't happening. Aw, monkey, you're making a mess, buddy. This is my most recent regular 1896, and it plays pretty well. I still have one. It's actually my oldest marine band in D. And I think the only reason it's still going is because I tend to avoid that key, right? But it was part of my first set of marine bands that I ever bought, and I still have it, and it still plays. I was gonna say great, but I'll just say as good as a D harp can play for me, because you guys know I suck at those fucking high keys. Although I've been trying more, you know. Whoa, no, that's a G. That's not a high key at all. I'm going your direction. I wanna walk with you. I'm going your direction. I wanna walk with you. Baby, you make me have strange feelings, but there ain't nothing I can do. And it's just really a struggle inside of here to make those reeds bend. By the way, that's a great song. There's two. I want to let you guys in on something. And I guess this isn't so much for the live viewers as it is for the people who go back afterwards and watch. But two beautiful singles by Sonny Boy Williamson that I don't think get played enough are Red Hot Kisses and I'm Going Your Direction. Those two, I'm almost certain they're from the same session because They have the same vibe, and I'm pretty sure that they both have the same saxophone player from the sounds of it. It's classic Sonny Boy. It's so understated but so elegant. And I was listening to it in the car at work today, which that's something I'm so grateful for. The fact that I can just study music all day at work as I'm working, as I'm doing my job. And I was listening to that and I thought, man, only Sonny Boy could play those licks like that. Like that was just his style. He was so unique. Yeah, Sonny Boy wasn't all big and flashy and pizzazzy like Little Walter, but man, if he didn't have some style. There's a reason why Sonny Boy sticks with us all these years later. Not to mention the charisma. Like you know what the modern acts are missing? They're not charismatic, dude. I don't think I've ever once seen, well, no. Yeah, no, not really. Not off the top of my head. I never see charismatic frontmen that say hi to the crowd, maybe crack a joke in between songs. Actually, I take it back. I do know one guy, and I play with him regularly, and he rocks. But that's just one. You know what's so amazing about the footage that we have of Sonny Boy in Europe in 1963 and 1964, or whenever those blues festivals were? That is such valuable footage, and to me, it shows me that Sonny Boy was just an absolute natural entertainer. Because as much as Sonny Boy was a singer and a bluesman and a harmonica player, he was also an entertainer. He liked to entertain, and that's something that I resonate with a lot because I love to entertain. That's all I want to do. You think I want to go make money for someone else? No, I want to entertain people. That's what's fun for me. With music, talking, making videos, to me that's fun. I like it. And that's something that you get a real sense of when you see those videos of Sonny Boy in Europe. And really, guys, really put this into perspective because this was like 1960 something. Most TV, I'm assuming, was still in black and white at the time. At least the footage is all in black and white. I'm pretty sure, I can confidently say that Sonny Boy didn't have any like acting experience or anything like that. He was just, like I said, he was just a natural entertainer. You hear a lot about back in the day, and even if you watch old movies from the 50s, some people didn't know how to act. Literally, quite literally, did not know how to act in front of a camera. That's why you get certain movies from those time periods, and especially even older, where it really just feels like an alien world, this weird side of humanity that you don't normally see. It's like, who are they? Did people really talk and act like that back then? It's like, kind of, but not so much. I think a big part of it was people really didn't know how to act fully in front of the camera. And it just always strikes me how much of a natural a lot of these blues acts were when they came over. And I don't know, maybe they did give them some kind of on-screen training or something. But the way that they just hit their mark, every television appearance that Sonny Boy makes is masterful. The aura, the one where he walks in with the briefcase and the umbrella. Come on, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. It's fantastic. And that's something, that kind of charisma is just completely missing in the modern act. Again, I've certainly never seen it. People play it a little too safe, and you know what? You gotta have fun. I'll tell you guys, the few times that I play frontman, at the jams, if I'm in a decent enough mood, I'll try to be charismatic. I'll tell you, the biggest reaction I ever got out of a crowd was when that whole thing was going down with the Ukraine, which I know it still is, but when it had first started, you guys remember when everyone was putting those flags up? I was at Camel's Bar and Grill on a Tuesday, and I took a Sonny Boy Williamson one song and I rewrote. It was about Hitler because there's a lot of World War II songs about killing Hitler, a lot of blues songs about killing Hitler, and I love that stuff. I get a real kick out of it. So I rewrote it. And the lyrics were like about decapitating Hitler, and I'm gonna sneak in Hitler's room with my razor in my hand and all this, or whatever. So anyway, I rewrote it to be about Vladimir Putin, and I got a little drunk that night at the Camel, and I sang it. I didn't tell him what I was gonna sing. I just said, let me get a shuffle and B flat or F or whatever. And I just started singing these lyrics that I wrote right then and there before my set. I have never gotten a bigger crowd reaction in my life. People stood up out of their bar stools. I'm serious. It was fucking wild. How did we even get there? I received a mighty sweet letter, and it told me that it came from you. John Popper is a good frontman. Okay, I'll have to maybe check some of that out. I'm not huge on Blues Traveler. No particular reason. They've just never. Jason Ritchie. Jason Ritchie has charisma, but does he have the stage charisma? I've never. I don't know. I couldn't say. Maybe he does. Yeah. As long as you put out live harp. What was that in reference to, man? I forgot what we were talking about. Yes, Randall mentions another thing here. That's he definitely had charisma and swag, and I always liked the way he dressed up this top hat and he backed it all up with his harp. Yeah, because when he went over there, he had a custom suit made. Have you guys seen the two-tone Sonny Boy suit? It looks like it's like one side is gray, the other side is black, and then the pants are like the opposite. So it's this sort of like checkerboard suit design. It's a really nice suit. And then he sometimes would wear a bowler hat too, which is really cool. Some great pictures of Sonny Boy around Europe from that time. There's one of him in Paris too with that bowler hat. That's a really good one. And you know, they were from by all accounts very warmly received in Europe. I mean, like they were received with open arms. Whereas in the States, you know, there was a lot of there was still a lot of turmoil and race. We got a message retracted. What did he say? Thor, Finn, Carles. Did anyone see what he said? He retracted a message. I'm trying to think if I know any John Popper songs. Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna cannibalize the screw. I can't find the screws for my Big Six, so I'm just gonna. I don't know if I've ever showed this. This is my Sonny Boy briefcase, and I gotta tell you guys, I feel a little ridiculous sometimes going to the jams with a briefcase, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Sonny Boy is one of my blues idols, and I love the way he brought out a briefcase, and I think it's a very convenient way to carry things. I got this off of Amazon. It's Chinese. It cost me about $50, but it hasn't let me down yet. Actually, that's not true. The zipper already broke. The zipper already broke. Oh, guys, you know this world's coming to an end soon, right? But I don't have to tell you that. You guys already know. What are you looking at, monkey? You didn't know? The cat just gave me a wide-eyed stare. I don't think he had been made privy to this information before. See, this is a harmonica that I tried to love. It's so ugly that it's kind of cool looking. Like it's so stupid looking that it's actually cool. Like seriously, my first initial impression was, are you fucking kidding me? But then after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of down with it. It's just it doesn't play very well. It plays good enough, I guess. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm always such an exaggerator, you know? Like, if this was all I had, I could make it work, but I wouldn't be happy about it. Okay, so I have my Big Six, and this hasn't been touched in a while. Let's just see how this plays when we put it back together. Now I have to try not to lose these screws as I'm doing this on camera, so I'll keep the screws in the crease of my jeans. How about that while we look at some chat? Okay, Mauro Alves says, I love Dennis Grunling vibes. Cool, yeah. He's, Dennis Grunling. He's the guy with the long hair and he's got like rings and stuff, right? Yeah, that guy's cool. Oh, God, these cover plates are filthy. I should have probably cleaned them, but whatever. All right, so here we got the Big Six assembled live on camera. I don't know if these screws are going to fit because they are Seidel screws, but the Big Six is a very small harp. Will it work? Yes, it will. Okay, perfect. Ah, Jesus Christ, almost lost that screw. Metallica or Pantera? Definitely Metallica. Not that I'm a huge No, let me re-answer that. Megadeth. Okay? Megadeth. Because, oh shit. Are these screws not gonna work? God damn it! They are not gonna work. They're too long. They're too long for the short little. Well, whatever. For a demo, it'll be good enough. I'm so upset with my playing lately. You know what I realized the other day? I have a certain pattern in my brain that I fall into anytime I play blues. And sometimes I don't think about it, but then I go back and it's like too many of these songs have too many of the same. Like when I play harmonica by myself while I'm singing, it's a call and response, right? Well, I'm the little red rooster, too lazy to crow for day. I forgot what point I was trying to make with that. I'm telling you guys, my brain is broken. It's part of the reason I'm trying to get sober. You know, I haven't had a drink in a couple days, and well, I've been doing the back and forth lately, you know. I drink for 2 or 3 or 4 days and then stop drinking for a while. 2, 3, 4 days of sobriety, then start drinking again. It's been a disaster, but that's what we're doing right now. We're just trying it out. We're trying new things. Those old blues artists were great because they lived a life of what they sang about. Yes, a lot of authenticity in there. You know, I always say, to me, something that always sticks out about blues is, for many of our favorite blues artists, I think that the blues story, the classic one, is like Sonny Boy is the perfect example. It's not just a story of traveling and rambling and playing great music, but you know what else? It's a story about freedom. Freedom to do what you want in life. Freedom to not be held down by shitty jobs. Which, I'm not going to work myself up. It's true though, you know? Like, it's a story of freedom. Sonny Boy's story is a story of freedom. It really is. And what a beautiful life in the blues. Unfortunately, a lot of bluesmen met some very grisly deaths. I mean, Jazz Gillum, Sonny Boy 1. There's a few more, I'm sure. I'm certain. Oh, that guy, that Pot guy that used to play for Muddy Waters, he also got shot. So I'm going to go ahead and say this was very disappointing. I don't know why. So I guess I'm not going to be making that video on this. It's just, man, I want to like Sadell so much, but the response just, it's not snappy enough. It's just really not snappy enough. It's like almost good enough. And the tone is wonderful. It sounds great. And listen to this wah-wah. Hey, Gavin, what's going on, dude? Gavin actually makes harmonica videos as well, guys. He's starting out too, so if you guys like harmonica videos, be sure to... Gavin, if you want to shout out your channel on here, man, feel free. And if I'm not mistaken, Gavin, you just recently put out one of your originals, I believe. Or maybe even a couple. I was looking through some of the shorts the other day, and you're doing great, man. By the way, what kind of... you're using a green bullet, Gavin, or what kind of microphone is that? I was curious to know. Mean mistreater, mean mistreater. You mistreat me all the time. The Biso Saboya says, crackhead. Well, suck my cock and swallow my load, my boy. Cringe, cringe, says unknown person UK. Dude, you're from the UK and you're calling me cringe? Buddy. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. This is America, okay? Bro looks like Jesus if he was Mexican. There they are. All right. I write my own songs, and it's a super lux on it off of Amazon. Oh yeah, I saw those, and I wanted to get one. You're certified gay? Toasty, listen to me, man. I hope you die. And I hope your entire family gets cancer. I hope your entire family gets the kind of cancer that's genetic so that it passes down from family member to family member. No, bigger than Jesus. What are you doing? I forgot he's a moderator. You got sniped by bigger than Jesus. The Biso Cebolla, why are you retracting messages, bitch? Stop doing meth. Again, buddy, get cancer and die. Unknown person, UK. You're the one watching, bud. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm gonna pin him. I'm gonna do the A flat if I have it with me because that's a key I do enjoy quite a bit. Oh, Justin, fuck off. I don't give a shit, man. I'm sorry, I really don't. See, now you guys bring out the worst in me. I'm sorry, Justin. That's terrible. No, of course, I don't have, I have friends and family who has died from cancer, but when people on here just come on to be dicks, you just gotta hit them with the worst of the worst. All right, we'll put him in timeout here. He's been timed out. But at the same time, Justin, there is no insult that I'm not allowed to say. Like, if you think that's bad, you should see what I say to people in real life when I get mad. Mark my words, there is no word. Read between the lines in what I'm saying here. There is no insult that I will not use. Really think about that. So if you think that's bad, me making fun of people with, and I'm not making fun of people with cancer. I'm making fun of this dickhead from the UK, unknown persons, the Biso Cebolla, this bot. So yeah, Justin, I am sorry that you have cancer, but I will insult, if someone insults me, I'm just gonna say whatever I want. Period, end of story. Like, I'm sorry. Favorite gas station? I like the Mobile. That's the one I get, like, I go there because we have a company card, so that's the one that, like, I have to stop there. And the one in my town, I already know the guy, so I just stop there all the time. Yeah. More message retracted. Bucky's gas station. Never been there, my friend. That must be further out east. Do you still practice? No, I mean, the extent of my practicing is just learning. It's like I said, the steps are first single notes, then learn how to bend, then learn the blues scale, then apply the blues scale to the blues music. And that's really all there is to it. The practice, once in a blue moon, if I'm lucky, I'll get so motivated, like I'll out of nowhere, the energy will come into me and I'll sit down and I'll learn like an entire song or a series of riffs. Like if something specifically really inspires me. Sorry, I lost the other half of that question. Fucking guys threw me off. The fucking guy from the UK threw me off. Do I still practice? It's like kinda, but not so much. I just play. Most of it fits within the blues scale. Again, it's harmonica. There's only 10 holes, right? So if I'm trying to figure something out, it's more a question of, can it be done on harmonica, yes or no? And if not, can it be done maybe in third position? Practicing is just keeping your lips in shape, to play the... Like, just, you have to do it because like today I haven't played for about a week and my lips are hurting a lot from like from holding the harp. It's putting a lot of strain on the lips. The muscles that you have to build up here, um, that's important, right? So you have to, when I say practice, I really just mean play. And you really get the most, well, I should say I get the most out of something when I'm having fun with it. You know, like when I'm really inspired. That's like when I love a song and I'm just like, oh, I just need to get this sound down and I lock in. That's the best for me. We have Quick Trip gas stations. I never tried chromatic harmonica. I used to have a chromatic by Swan and it was actually pretty decent. It's like it's for those of you who don't know, it's like the one with the button. It's about, they're roughly this big. They're roughly the size of a Marine Band 364, a little bit. Actually, I have a chromatic I can show you. What am I saying? I have one. This is an antique one. I don't play this. It was a gift. This is a Hohner Chromonica. And so you can see it's pretty freaking big. And I love these sort of, this case is falling apart, unfortunately, due to time. But look at this bad boy. Looks like it might have had a replacement comb, or perhaps it never had a Hohner logo on it, but it is certainly a Hohner, through and through. Look at that. You know, cover plates are still in fantastic shape for all these years later. Maybe I should get this serviced. Does anyone know where I can get a Chromonica serviced? See, the thing about the Chromonica is, I'm sorry, the chromatic harmonica, that's what I meant. That is, the slide buttons still work. And my grandpa had one of these, not this exact one. That's a different one, but the thing about the chromatic harmonicas is you're really just better off buying a brand new one. Hohner still makes them, and they're only about, well, only about $200, so that's like way out of my personal budget. Like, I would never buy one personally. If I had that money, I would just buy other stuff. He says he's thinking of trying it, but I'm just tongue blocking, don't know if it works well. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly have no idea if tongue blocking, how that would work. Yeah, it's basically just a big Marine band. You know, my grandfather was in one of those, I never met him, but my grandfather was in one of those harmonica bands, like where everyone plays one type of harmonica. There's like one guy with a big bass harmonica that's like this big, and one guy with a chord harmonica that just has a bunch of chords on it, also very large. So yeah. Yeah, they are pretty expensive. I mean, man, harmonicas in general are expensive. I was thinking the other day, you know, I went down to B&H in Escondido and I got this Marine band in A because I had a couple of A's die on me recently. And I don't know, I just kept thinking, is it worth it? And I also kept thinking on a greater scale, how much longer is Hohner going to be producing the Marine Band 1896? I hope they never stop, but I wouldn't be surprised if one day they say, it's time. It's time to retire it. You can still have the deluxe, but the 1896 has got to go. And that day, I'm telling you, I'm going to stock up on them. I don't know. You know, the truth is, I just need to learn how to customize, and then I can, you know, get a deluxe and just fix it to suit my playing. Boy, I cannot believe how nasty it got in the chat there for a second. By the way, you guys could help me out a little bit. I can't fend them off all on my own. And I don't want to just block and delete them because, again, they have a right to say that. Like, nothing pisses me off more than a YouTuber who doesn't read I want you guys to know, I might not reply to comments. I read every single one. Every single one. Even the bad ones. Like, people have a right to say mean shit. If someone wants to come out and be a bully, they should be allowed to. That's why I don't outright ban them unless they're like clogging up the chat or just being absolute nightmares. Now, that being said, I wouldn't mind if someone in the chat would jump in and tell these guys to go suck their own dicks every now and then. Just saying, just throwing it out there, not blaming you guys, but come on, I can't do it all by myself. I can't do it all by myself. And you know what the worst part about these cock-sucking worms is? It's always an anonymous they're always bots. Like, it would be one thing if it was a... Like, if Jonah Fox, the harmonica player on YouTube, came on here and started making fun of me, that would be one thing. Because he's a public figure, and I know who he is, and I can... I can put a face to it, but when it's these... Like, that fucking... What was that guy? Something about the UK? You know, some British twat, some limey cunt. And realistically, it's probably just some kid on his computer who's bored and just scrolling through the things. And you know what the saddest thing is? They think they're hurting me, but no one's ever gonna hate me more than I hate myself. That's just the fact of life, man. Like, you could not possibly make me feel worse about myself than I already do. All you're gonna do is make me mad. You'll do that, but yeah. Anyway, so that guy I put him Bigger Than Jesus took out a few of them, and I put a few of them in timeout. But yeah, as mean as people can be, I really, it's their right. It's as much their right to say it as it's my right to tell them to get cancer and to get a lineage of cancer for their entire family. You know, it's and that might sound very harsh. Like, Justin obviously was very offended by that comment because he's a cancer patient himself, and which is completely understandable. But I need you guys to understand that I deal with these people every single day. And it's one thing when it's random jerk-offs from the UK, limey cunts that I don't know. But you know what? Sometimes it's subscribers of this channel. People who don't know me and assume things of me. The worst things, you know? There's so many examples. I could just talk about it. The other day, someone was like, you know what your problem is? You never got out of your hometown. That's why you're the way you are. He said that, like, genuinely, that he actually believed that, and I'm like, where did he get that from? I was born in another country. I've moved literally around the world. I've lived in 3 different countries, or what do you call them, continents? No, I guess countries. And even when I came to the States, we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since I've came here to the States, you know? And it's these type of comments that I get all day because people, they see one thing about you and that creates a preconceived notion in their mind, and they think that they know you and they can say shit to you. I don't think anyone's ever, like, accurately randomly guessed something like, oh, you know what, you know, sometimes people do. Sometimes people say things that are accurate, and I have nothing against that, but so I just need you guys to understand that, yeah, it's a very dickish thing for me to behave like that and to say those very horrible things. But also, these people come out here every day, and I'm at a point in my life that I just don't care, you know? Like, this channel is meaningless to me. I just want to be happy. That's it. I just, I want to feel love and happiness and excitement, and I'm frustrated with my life, and I'm probably gonna die unhappy, and that's okay. But, you know, I forgot where I was going with that. I love how I just went into the depressive, like, I don't know where I came from, but I somehow landed at, but yeah, I'll probably die unhappy. This is how my mind works. Raindrops keep falling on my head. That's not right. Raindrops falling on my... No. I should have pulled up the goddamn fucking chord charts. Thank you, 007. I appreciate that, buddy. RB King, and I'll get back to the rest of the chat in a second here. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Donovan is great, says Randall. England, or should I say Ireland's answer to Bob Dylan. Yeah, that's, you know, actually, it's so funny you mentioned that, Rand. Dude, okay, Randy, I'll send you this on Instagram once I'm done with this, but I just saw a video, and it was actually, this was really cool. It was a video of Bob Dylan playing with, who's the other Irish guy? Van Morrison. It's like a whole TV special with Bob Dylan and Van Morrison, and John Lee Hooker makes an appearance as well, where he plays guitar while Van Morrison's playing harp. I had seen a short clip of it before, so I will have to send you that. I haven't heard a lot of Donovan. Um, he did that. What was that song? What's the one that he's famous for? Yeah, most people do die unhappy. I don't know. Listen, Stiletto, I don't know what's wrong with me, man. There is something wrong with me. I can't, you know. I'm not making any excuses for it. I'm just letting you guys know where I'm coming from. Did you start with playing blues? Yeah, actually, blues was specifically what got me to pick up a guitar for the first time. When I was like, I had heard Robert Johnson, and that kind of opened up the doorway to blues. And I got really hooked on Robert Johnson, so hooked on it that I started like singing it in the car. And then one day, one fateful day in like 2019, God damn it, fucking piece of shit, get the fuck out of here. You believe this fucking guitar stand? And then one fateful day, I learned these three chords: E, A, and B7. Sorry, like I said, I think I might have had a stroke sometime in the last year, because once I started playing guitar again, my fingers had no individuality and did not want to cooperate with me. It's been a real struggle. I know, because last year, a friend had reached out to me. I was really excited. I hadn't talked to them in a while. And they reminded me of when I was playing acoustic, and we were even talking about that, and I said, well, I'm going to start playing it. So I got home like that same night, and I was like trying to play, and my fingers just wouldn't thing. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't line up on where they're supposed to go on the fretboard. And it's taken me a really, really long time to, even now, well, you guys have already seen what I've been putting up. Let me get my chord thing. No, but I went, oh shit. I went absolutely crazy trying to remember all of these songs that I used to play when I had Foreman's Basement, which was the original channel before. And Foreman's Basement was like a real YouTube channel. Like this channel's a joke, you know. Like this channel's pathetic. This is not who I really am. I'm just at a really bad place in my life. But the original Foreman's Basement, that was a real channel, and I used to love those live streams. It was the most beautiful audience. They never gave me a hard time or anything. Everyone was really nice. And I was really getting nostalgic for that period of my life. And so I just started printing out everything. I have stacks upon stacks of absolutely anything that you can imagine. Ween, Peggy Lee, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra even. 13th Floor Elevators, Grateful Dead. I mean, just literally everything. The Beatles. I'm trying to see what I want to play right now. Let's catch up on the chat really quick. Damn, I'm getting kind of hot. And the sun is coming in. It's the afternoon and the sun's coming in. Okay. Whew. God damn, it got hot in here. 007 says, I'm a fan of the Red Devil. That harmonicist was so fucking awesome. Robert Johnson, what a fantastic one. I'm a diehard Cotton nut also. Yeah, James Cotton's really cool. I just saw the James Cotton documentary, the new one. I was a little disappointed. I don't know what I was expecting. It's just, you know what I think it is that I've seen so many goddamn documentaries on musicians and artists that I respect, and so many of them have been so good. It's really hard for a documentary, for me to walk away from a documentary being like, wow, or feeling inspired, you know? I gotta take out the lozenge. It's making me salivate too much. That's not good for the stream. .007 asks, do you do a lot of open mic? No, not really. Like maybe a couple times a week at the most, at the absolute most. When I first started, I was crazy about it. I would go to every open mic. When I first started, I was really hungry, and that was like, things are always going downhill, right? So, but 5 years ago, I was here, which is way, way higher than where I'm at now here. So back then, even though I was like still not in a good place, I was doing a lot better than I am now, and I had so much energy, and I'd go all over the place. You know, I drive all the way to the Camel's Bar and Grill, which is off of Friars Point, and that's like with rush hour, because of course signups are at like 5:30 or 6 or 6:30 or something like that. With rush hour, that's easily an hour and 15 minutes of driving there. And then once you're done, an hour, well, no, once you're done, the traffic clears up. So afterwards, it's 40 something minutes back, but still, it's 2 hours total, you know, there and back. It's a lot of driving. I didn't care though, because you know what I was doing in the car? I was listening to blues music and getting all pumped up. And yeah, I used to go a ton. I will say the blues jam community has been extremely welcoming, very kind. In fact, I don't even think I've ever really run into any dicks. I'm trying to think if there's probably been like one or two dicks here and there, but none that I can even name off the top of my head, honestly. Yeah, they're all really good folk. Yeah, there's never even been an incident. Like, you know how a lot of drinking establishments, people get like a real dickhead attitude to them? That's never happened at any of these places. The rowdiest of them probably being the Camel Bar and Grill, and that's no, actually, that would be North Bar. North Bar's, that place is weird. That place is a little creepy. I don't go there anymore though, because the security guard pissed me off one time. Because every time that I would come in, first of all, he would pretend like he didn't remember me. And then when I'd show him my ID, he'd be like, "Oh, this isn't you." And then we'd get the lady to come out, and I'd be like, "Hey, it's me, you know me, right? Okay, let him in. Sir, we're gonna have to search your bag." And every time putting his stupid fucking stick in the bag, it's like, what do you think? And you know what? You know what? I was sneaking a half pint in my boot every fucking time. Fuck you, motherfucker. Suck my cock. Think I'm gonna pay $7 for a shot of Seagram 7? Fuck you. God, I hope that guy gets cardiovascular disease, that fat fuck. No, I shouldn't say that. See, I need to change my way of thinking. I can't be thinking like this anymore. But it's hard because this world pisses me off. Like, there's just nothing to live for. What the fuck were we even talking about? I think Donovan is famous for hurdy-gurdy. Yeah, Mellow Yellow. Sunshine Superman was the one I was thinking of. Did you ever try psychiatric drugs for mental health? When I was a kid, I tried just about everything. There's like a list. For ADHD, depression, just about everything. And you know what the problem with the depression medicine is? Yeah, it takes the edge off of the worst of it. Not going to deny that. Totally true. However, it neuters you as a human being. I'm sorry, it's true. People want to pretend like that's a stereotype and that's like not true. Maybe for some people. I'm not going to compromise in that way. Look, it's as simple as this. Some drugs are okay and some are not. And the ones you're talking about, I don't like. I like drugs that work in a short-term manner. He had to clarify he means prescription ones, yeah. Okay, 007 says, I'm supposed to go to an open mic, but I'm so scared I just can't think about it. Aw, dude, you got this, man. Hey, listen to me, 007. I was terrified as well. I should have mentioned that, sorry. Well, the first time I went, I was terrified too, man. Like, scared shitless. I was pumped up on the way there, and by the time I got into the parking lot, my legs were shaking because I was walking into an establishment where I didn't know anybody. I had called ahead just to make sure that it was happening. Like, hey, is this a blues jam happening? Yes, yeah, come on by. At the time I was playing a lot of slide, so I brought my guitar in addition with my harmonicas, and dude, I was literally shaking walking into my first jam. I didn't know who to talk to. It's just a bunch of old dudes standing around drinking beer. I got there way too early because I was like, I need to make sure I get a good spot. And thankfully, they were very nice. So let me, 007, you should, when you get there, the first thing you want to do is talk to the bartender and ask her who's running the open mic, and she'll point you to whoever's like in charge. And they usually have a sign-up sheet, and at least the ones that I've been to, you can sign up either for a set, like they have time slots, which are usually about, I want to say 15 minutes, right? So each band gets 15 minutes. And then there's also a separate sheet sometimes for musicians, right? So you can assemble your own band, which I highly recommend, unless you're comfortable just playing by yourself. But again, sorry, I'm kind of talking about a blues jam / open mic. So they might have that, they might not. If you're going by yourself, just practice a lot, be ready. But if it's like a blues jam situation, don't be afraid to, you know, when it's your time to get your set together, if you don't know anyone, don't be afraid to just go up to the mic and say, hi guys, I'm doing a set. It's my first time here. Would anyone like to play drums with me? I need a bass player if there's one in the house. If anyone would like to, just leave that open-ended and someone, because I'll tell you this, I'm a terrible musician. This is no secret. I can't play, whole songs by myself, like, singing and playing and, all that stuff. It's a lot. So my favorite thing to do is to go to the jams, just me and my harmonica and my microphone, and then thankfully I know the players that are there most of the time. And so, you find a guy that you like for guitar, you find a guy that you like for bass. Sometimes you don't get to pick them. Sometimes it's just whoever's there. No, I did not play alone my first time, my friend. That's what I'm telling you. I have played alone at open mics, which is even more nerve-wracking. But what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to ask for just a little drummer to come up and do a shuffle, or something like that. It's not a bad idea. And 007, assuming that you don't have to drive anywhere, and assuming that you are above the age of 21, some people are gonna say this is a bad suggestion, but dude, have a beer. Have a beer. I hope you don't drink regularly, but have a beer. It'll loosen you up. It'll give you a little bit of energy from the carbs. That helps a lot. For me, that's the essential part of getting onto stage. Oh, no worry, Gavin. You left at the right time, dude. Literally, Gavin, like 5 trolls came in here. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. Like 5 trolls came in at the same time. They were calling me gay and a meth head, and they're saying something about a Mexican. It was pretty messed up, dude. But thankfully the moderator took care of them. It's so funny. I was ready to deal with a troll, but 4 of them jumped in at a time. I'm sorry. I was overtaken. Which, again, you guys could have fucking helped defend me a little bit. Just saying. I'm a little hurt. Okay, sorry. Let's catch up on chat really quick. Do you bring your own mic pedal? This is a great question, 007. Definitely bring your own stuff if you don't know for sure. That's the best thing you can do. I always bring my Hohner HB52 Heart Blaster microphone. What was I going to say? Most places that you go to, most reputable places that run an open mic will have what's called a backline, which is usually monitors up front. And then they'll have usually at least one, if not two or three microphones set up, so you can sing into them. Now, for harmonica specifically, I just unplug their vocal mic. Like, look, to demonstrate, just to demonstrate. Don't laugh at my busted mic. Imagine that I'm at the open mic. This is the house mic, okay? I'll just go up. I'll go like this. Got this cable. Put my microphone in, and boom, I'm hooked into the PA. I can talk directly to the entire venue. It's so yeah. But like I said, most places have a vocal microphone that you can use, and depending on what you're trying to do, again, I don't know if you're playing. Are you playing harmonica? Are you singing? Are you playing guitar? What are you doing, 007? I might be able to help you more if I know a little bit more about the situation. So yes, I would say it's always a good idea to have your equipment on you, because the last thing that you want is some places, I've seen this rarely. Some places do no amplification. Some places you're not allowed to amplify. It's a strictly acoustic type of deal. Again, I've only ever seen one of those in my life, but I got to tell you, that might be nice, to be honest with you, because like I was saying at the beginning of the video, the one thing that I hate the most about going to these blues jams is they're so fucking loud. If you go watch the videos of Sonny Boy performing in Europe and pay attention in that blues festival footage, specifically to the levels. Like when Sonny Boy is doing a television appearance, does it sound to you like the band is like at fucking 10? No, they're just playing loud enough that it can be heard, and that's. I'm sorry, I just don't like loud music. I don't like. 100 decibels is too much. It just is. Like it just is. 100 decibels is too much. And some of these guys, dude, there's this one guy, Dylan, fucking phenomenal guitar player, badass motherfucker who can play some Stevie Ray Vaughan shit, but he plays so loud. If I played a set with him one time and I went home and my ears were ringing, so I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I want so it got me to thinking, I want some place that's like, I'm trying to think. I don't know how decibels work. I just know every time I'm there, I look at the decibel meter and it's at 100, and that's when I know it's too fucking loud. So how about like 95 decibels? That'd be like a lot chiller, right? Or maybe even 90. I don't know. Only harmonica. You'll be cool, man. I think you'll be cool. He says he can't. His is only a normal jack. So you might have to bring your own amplifier in that case, 007. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Oh, you mean your microphone only has a cable. Is that what you're saying? Your microphone, the cable is hardwired into it? Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. I like rock music. I like a heavy, hard, dirty sound. And I do like it to be a little loud, but honestly, any much louder than like, I don't know. Even like my dad plays too loud sometimes. I've never told him that, nor would I ever, because I think he has every right to play as loud as he wants. But when I used to live with my dad, man, it's like sometimes, and thankfully he's a very chill guitar player. He always plays very pleasing things. But man, does he turn it up. And it could just be because he's older. But guys, you got to watch that hearing. That hearing damage is no joke. In like the late 60s, Clapton already was having... I listened to a very long Canned Heat interview with Alan Wilson. And he's talking about how like everyone in the band is suffering from tinnitus. This must have been like 1968. And Al Wilson's saying that they're all... their ears are ringing for days at a time. And by the way, my tinnitus is probably baby shit compared to what... Imagine Canned Heat's tinnitus. How would you even live with that? Because back then, they did not wear earplugs. I guarantee you. I know they didn't. How do I know? I just know. I'm assuming. So in that case, 007, I would recommend you either bring your own amplifier, and this is very important, have your amplifier settings dialed in and like make sure nobody touches them. Like have it ready to go so you can just, basically what you want to do, you want to walk on stage, plug in 2 seconds and like be ready to go. It's some people, maybe this is just where I've been to, but I like to keep the sets moving. You know, one set's done, get your stuff. Next set, come on up. So I would recommend having your own amplifier with the settings already set, or if that's not possible, you could always ask at the venue. And don't be afraid to just play into the vocal mic if they have one, because here's the thing. The beauty of the vocal mic is that you can go up to it and do the wah wah. You can hit the wah wah with the, like, you can't really do that with a bullet microphone. Like, I mean, you can hear it because I was creating an airtight space, but the actual amplification won't really pick it up as well. But what I'm saying is you can go right up to an actual vocal mic and right in front of it, just... You only have a pig nose, okay. A pig nose? What kind of venue are we talking about? It should be, you know, I'm assuming you're talking about like a cafe or something, I don't know. Oh, I never finished my coffee. Stiletto Squeak just gave you the answer right there. Ask them if you can mic up the pig nose, although you might not have to. Okay, 007 says it's a microbrewery. Classic. Classic. No, honestly, you should be good, man. I mean, a pig nose... You want to see me turn mine up? I love the pig nose, man. I really do. You know, Jake Robinson just became a pig nose sponsored artist, and I thought I'd like that someday. But then again, I can't compare myself to Jake Robinson. He's been around in the harmonica community for well over a decade, I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess. I love the pig nose. Dude, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The pig nose sounds best when it's a little bit open like this. The problem is, when it's open and you turn it up, this starts to rattle. So you have to tape it down. But it does sound way better if you leave it just a little bit open, because that little, it forces the sound waves to like go through an opening, and it just creates I don't know, guys. That's how sound works. Trust me. I can't explain it. Let's fuck with the neighbors a little bit, huh? Just kidding. I love my neighbors. I'm amazed that no one's ever complained about my music in this neighborhood, because, you know, sometimes this is terrible. Sometimes I'll be practicing and I'll finish, sing for like an hour at full volume, and then I'll go and open my blinds and realize that the window was open the whole time in a quiet golfing neighborhood. This is a very quiet neighborhood. Like, at night, if someone's walking the street and having a conversation, you can hear it. That's how quiet this neighborhood is. So sometimes I feel so bad, but I gotta, you know, I go to my car sometimes to practice. It's hard. I don't want to bother anyone, you know, and I feel so bad for my family members as well. Because imagine having to live with someone trying to learn how to play harmonica. What a nightmare. Inspirationality. Top Denim says, I just came across something that I can't pronounce music by accident, and I'm confused how more people are not talking about it. I don't know, bud, but this ain't the place to talk about that. I don't give a fuck. Jesus. See, I can't even move the dial See, I was kicking myself in the leg for not turning up my pig nose all the way for the video that I did for it. But then I realized if I turn this dial any more than like a quarter, it just starts to squeak. Look. Oh, wait. Oh. Hello? Hello? Fucking hell. My poor cat is... My cat looks so disappointed in me. My cat's looking at me like, well, what are you doing? So on second thought, you're probably going to have to... It would probably be wise to have someone mic it and just put it at a reasonable volume. and let the amplification through the PA do the heavy lifting. Because as I just showed you, I'm at a quarter volume on the amp, and I'm at just a little bit past a quarter on the volume on the microphone, and it's still getting a half decent amount of feedback on it. Fucking coffee made me salivate. I hate salivating when I play. That's the nice thing about smoking weed is you smoke a little weed and then your mouth just goes dry. So then you can just play all day long. Where's that filthy fucking A? Fucking A. Oh, I keep missing text messages. Hold on, I gotta make sure some shit ain't going down. I missed 2 out of my peripheral. Okay. Okay, just making sure the world ain't blowing up. How long is it for you guys before the golden tinge wears off of your Marine Band screws? Because I was talking about that at the beginning, and this is a brand new Marine Band. Those pins are not going to be gold for very long. Yeah, guitar also sounds great through the pig nose. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, see, RB King says that Roger Daltrey is almost completely deaf because of how loud the music is that the Who play. 007 says, I bought a Bone Daddy for my PN. What does PN mean? Yeah, he is old. Well, if you drink like 2 whiskeys, you should be good. I feel like whiskey also dries out the mouth. Whiskey makes you salivate at first, but once the alcohol like gets into your system, it dries you up. Listen to this, guys. Guys, what are we doing here? We're talking about how to dehydrate ourselves. Everyone go drink some water right now, please. I feel bad. When I woke up this morning, I got myself a beer. Yes, and I woke up this morning and I got myself a beer. The future's uncertain and the end is always near. Dude, Gavin. Gavin says, oh shit, Roadhouse Blues is something I've been trying to learn. Dude, I've been trying to learn that forever. I can never sit down and do it. And also, there's something about the Roadhouse Blues groove that I've always really struggled with. I've played Roadhouse Blues a lot. Live, I mean, like with a band on stage. Because I love the song, I love the harmonica of it. But I swear, I never know when to come in. And like, I can never do the licks at the right time. Yeah, I have to say, weirdly enough, Roadhouse Blues is one of the tough ones. It's weird. Like, I can do a lot of other stuff that would be considered more technically proficient, but I can't do Roadhouse Blues. The same way that I was really struggling, what was it? Bob Dylan, a few months back, I did a show with some friends of mine. We put together a blues band for like a one-night thing at the Aztec, and one of the songs was Rainy Day Women number something by Bob Dylan. And it's that song that's like, everybody must get stoned. And it's like, you know, it's a cool song. It's a very fun song. I heard his harmonica playing on that, and I'm like, psh, Bob Dylan, what a jerk off. I'll be able to learn this in no time. And I went home and I sat down, I tried to learn it, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't do it. Stiletto says, Frank, do a search for Ash Grunwald. I think you'd like his early stuff. Yes, Rainy Day Women. You heard it here. Okay, just making sure I didn't miss anything. You know, one I've been wanting to do for a while is commit a crime. That's a good one. I'm going to turn this off because my neighbors are out and about and I don't want to disturb them. Ooh. 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 What happened? What happened to that third draw there? Guys, I'm still struggling so much with the third draw. It's unbelievable. And I refuse to give up. I know I can do it. It's just, you know, sometimes you want to hear my conspiracy theory. Sometimes I think I need to really break in a harmonica specifically for the three draw. Like before my harmonica breaks, but when a marine band is dying is when the three hole seems to work best for me. And I've tried to no avail with the gapping thing. I mean, sometimes it seems to help a little bit. Come on, we can do this, man. I'm gonna leave you, darling, before I commit a crime. I'm gonna leave you, darling, before I commit a crime. Tried so hard to kill me, woman, it just was not my time. Oh, so this is interesting. Gavin says that's what it's called, and the harmonic for Rainy Day Women. And he says, and the harmonica player for the Dylan movie said his playing is oddly complex. He's a rhythm player, not a blues player. Yes, exactly. It really is something. As much as an early harp player, I spent a lot of time talking trash on Bob Dylan's harmonica, but oh, dude, my cat looks so cute. He's curled up into a little shrimp. He's stretching his little fucking panther claws. Hello to this guy. Look at this. Monkey. 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 What are you doing, Felonious? What are you doing, big bud? Are you a shrimp? Oh, Shadow, you are such a lazy McClunky. You are such a lazy McClunky. Stiletto asked, "What's on his collar?" It's an air tag because he's gotten out a couple times, and I live on a golf course, and there's a lot of coyotes around here. So if he gets out, I need to be able to find him before it gets dark. Because I don't know. As much as I love having a cat, and it's been a life-changing experience, it's added a lot of stress to my life because I'm constantly worried, like, is he hungry? Sometimes he gets sick. Sometimes he gets into the trash. It's like having a kid, you know? I wouldn't trade him for the world, don't get me wrong, but anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day for this one. I got some more recording I have to do, so catch you guys around.